Hi, Time4 guys. It's only me, of course. Videos have been a little bit few and far between for a couple of reasons. Been concentrating on work and trading, and too many updates. I think it's a bit boring, so keeping it a little bit real. Apart from workout videos, I'll keep putting them up. But I want to give you an update on where we're at. Prep starts in 5 days, not counting today, counting from tomorrow. And am I excited? Hell yeah, I can't wait. Had a couple of messages from the boss, Jason Corrick, today. Started giving me a layout of my plan of what we're going to do, which is really good because I like to be prepared. So that's amazing. It's all different, it's all new, it's something I've not tried before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what results we get. Hopefully tomorrow get diet plan so I can get that prepared and get the food in. And sometimes what I do is I do a trial run on a day, and I might just do that on Sunday, is do a trial run prepping my food, because if it's different to what I'm doing now, some preps I've done when I was just dieting on fats took a different length of time and in what order I prepped it in. So I'll probably do a run through on Sunday on the food. Am I having a cheat this weekend? Nope. I've decided not to have a cheat. I'll have a refeed, so it'll probably be something like a jacket potato and steak. Something very, very plain, simple, but something I like as well. So I won't just grab a piece of rump or a piece of sirloin. I'll go for a bit of fillet steak and make it nice because it's enjoyable. So that's all cool. Something else I wanted to touch on for those that are who've been following me for a few months, will or maybe already know. For those who are new to my site and don't know, so 2 years ago yesterday, had an operation after tearing my right pec off, clean off, and was told I will never train again and most definitely would never be able to compete again. And it was misdiagnosed. It was diagnosed as a tendon rupture, which is where the, for you don't know, is where the pec tendon attached to the humerus bone is ruptured off. Now that, if they repair it, is like a 99% success rate, or 99.9% success rate. They literally just bolt it back on with these threads. 3 bolts, each bolt has 3 threads. Those are threaded in a certain, stitched into the tendon a certain way, and it's grafted back onto the bone. It's like guaranteed fix, with very little defect in the muscle in its appearance. When they got inside me, they found that it was a pec rupture, which is the pec muscle was off the tendon. And I had a really nice chat with a guy who lives up in Taunton, owns a gym up there, who actually had the same thing happen to him, exactly the same as me, two weeks ago whilst training in New York. And he messaged me, and we got, sent me a picture of his pec in response to the pictures I put up yesterday of me tearing, having the operation and things. And we got chatting and stuff, and literally they've said, "What, you'll never train again. You're never gonna be able to have that repaired." And well, I know a man who can repair it, because I know since he done mine, he's done more since. It does only have a 12% success rate, but this particular surgeon in Truro is a flipping genius, and he repaired mine, and basically it's all down to recovery. If this has ever happened to you or someone you know and they've been told you can't have it repaired, you can on the NHS. You can pay for it private. It's about 3.5–4 grand, but it is repairable. And so many people I've now met have had the exactly same thing happen. And if that gives someone hope. In fact, actually, a friend of mine's had his operation, and he tore his 14 years ago. So a bit more complicated because the tendon had shortened and had to extend the tendon and things, but it's been successful by the same surgeon. And he just made it his thing that, right, well, if I can repair one, I can repair more. And so, it's been a great success. I'm back training. Yes, there's a slight dent in the side of my chest, which is going to show up on a few poses, but really, you know, still qualified. I've got to work very hard. In fact, the leaner I got, the less noticeable it was. So, you know, I was chatting with this guy and just said to him, remain positive. It can be fixed. You can be back. And he's only young. You can be back competing, but plan 2 years. I tried to come back and compete a year afterwards. Big mistake. Nowhere near ready. I hadn't put on any size. I looked like a bag of shit. And, you know, body just wasn't ready for it. Took a little bit extra time to recover. When I got around to about 18 months recovery, actually it was about 16 months recovery, post-op, then I was able to up the pace of training and up the weight, and there were certain exercises I could do to strengthen the chest, and the chest does still grow, and also to stretch the fibers out, you know. And there are some massage techniques, you know, to help break down scar tissue, and some physio you can get done to help break down the scar tissue, which I'm doing at the moment with Jeff from Bowden Physio. So basically all I'm trying to say is injuries, most of the time you're told, oh, you have to stop doing that. That's not always the case. Another friend of mine messaged me saying, yeah, you're a bodybuilder, doctors will say that to bodybuilders, but bodybuilders will know, not just bodybuilders, but people who train, will know their body better than anyone else. That's what I learned. You know, I figured that I actually started training 3 days after my operation, but I didn't start training chest and things. There was no way I wasn't allowed to do that, or that movement, because it was pulling the chest. However, the bicep was retracted, so it was up the top of my arm, because I had my arm in a sling for 3 days. So when I put my arm down, it didn't stretch all the way down and look full. So I did concentration curls. My elbow was in, side of my leg. I was pushing my chest out. I learned to relax my chest. And I just used to put a bit of pressure and push it that way. Didn't hurt. And then I would just do like 2 kilos. 30 reps, 5 sets, did that 3 times a day. And did the same on the other arm. Just kept the blood flow, kept the muscle in the arm. So didn't lose the size. And after 6 weeks of doing pendulum swings and stretches, I had 100% full rotation back in my shoulder. Had no physio whatsoever. So stay positive throughout. It can be fixed, and you can get back on stage, for sure. So I just wanted to, you know, give you a little update on training and just touch on that subject of injury. Like the other week when I put my post up with training calves, there's a set I did after, and videoed it, but didn't put it within the edit. Actually tore the back of my knee, and it was like the hamstring insertion. That was 3 weeks ago. I rested it, listened to my body. When it started to feel fine, I tested it out. I could go up on my tiptoes, no problem at all, no pain. It was just when I bent my knee. So it was a case of go steady on hamstring. So I didn't work out legs for 2 weeks. Then last week I just gave it a little try. I'm squatting 100 kilos for 20 reps, sets of. Did loads of leg extensions, worked my calves out a couple of times since then. Cramped up like buggery, because I was working them out every day, and I missed it, and I stopped doing them for 2 weeks. You know, listen to your body. That's the main key. Give it time to heal, 2 to 3 weeks. You know, if it's just something minor, and you should be back up and running. So it's key. Don't lose faith. Stay positive. There's always a solution to every problem, and it's just finding someone else that's been through the same thing and asking them how they came out of it. As I say, when I tore my pec, I knew no one. I was on the internet and I couldn't find anybody. But Kevin Leveron suffered exactly the same in his younger, early days. Okay, he had 2 operations. One was to repair it, one was a cosmetic one. And you can tell in some of the poses, where if you look closely on his right pec, you can see a slight difference to the left pec. But you've got to know what you're looking for to see it on him. And he went on to be great. And he's come back, and he will still continue to be great. So stay positive. Hope that's cool. But 5 days time, we go full bore, balls out, prep for the British finals. So follow me on the journey. I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to enjoy it, and we'll both be learning, or we'll all be learning something together. Stay positive. Keep it Time4.